I'm wearing my birthday suit, and I got a luscious blonde wig on.
Oh shit, I'm eating freaking narco berries now. I am not doing myself any favor.
Might have bit off more than I could chew here.
There's a bad one in this bunch. You guys want me to teach you about mushrooms?
I am so close to death. I've got a broken leg.
The only way that you survive is by being smarter than some of the other people.
What the heck? What is digging holes in the ground? It's digging holes in the ground.
Fresh spawns, veteran tamers, and all survivors in between. We'd like to welcome you to Rated Ark, the Ark Survival Evolved podcast.
By the way, this is explicit.
Welcome, survivors new and old, to episode 11 of Rated Ark, the Ark Survival Evolved podcast. Today is May 11th, 2018. We are a CRR Gaming Group hosted podcast, so that means the voices can change each week, but the roundtable discussion will always be about Ark. We have many ways that you can contact us to share feedback, tips, or adventures. You can reach the show by email at ratedark@gmail.com. You can tweet the show at @ratedark on Twitter. And you can grab our RSS feed, get our show notes at www.ratedark.com, and apply to join us in-game at www.crossrealmrebellion.com. On tonight's show, we have, at the top, Cricket.
Leroy Jenkins.
And the always faithful, always here, Esmeralda Sky.
Greetings, fine travelers. I thought I'd try to do a Warcraft thing like you, but I failed.
Well, it's the 8th anniversary of the Leroy Jenkins video. It happened
hell yeah.
5/11/2010.
You gotta get a little more gruff up in there.
Actually,
I like chicken.
Not a 10-year anniversary, I think.
Do we need to be reminded what podcast we're doing?
Oh yeah, sorry.
I like chicken.
They don't have any quotes for Ark. Everybody just grunts, or scratches themselves. It's never all that stuff.
Actually, no, it's the 13th anniversary, May 11th, 2005.
Yeah, so we don't really have any Ark options for that.
Just a death scream.
Yeah, that too. Ah!
It was a copy.
Only Big Blue couldn't get that one, but
just blue screams.
Yep, it was not a copy.
It was not.
We also have with us Falloon.
Hello, all.
And everybody's favorite angry New Yorker, Faux Render.
I'm not angry. What's up?
And we have Mr. Goon with us tonight.
Good evening.
And Mr. Big Blue.
Hashtag blame foe.
And, of course, I'm Johnny Wrench.
No wonder he's angry.
Hey, Johnny Wrench! Well, we're going to get rocking with Rated Ark number 11 with our loot drop.
Shout, let it all out. These are the shout-outs we can't live without. Oh yeah, come on, yeah. Rated Ark's talking to you, you're talking to us. Yeah, time for shout-outs.
I just wanted to welcome Mac Daddy Carrot and Jackal and Boreal Syzygy for getting into our Discord and hanging out with us. They're our latest members that have come in there. We see you, Boreal, you quiet person. I know you want to talk. I know you want to get up. I know, right, Mac Daddy Carrot? Is that what you're gonna... I love it. He was just MDC in our Discord, but last night we named him Mac Daddy Carrot. And
he just went with it, too. He just rolled right with it like it was nothing.
Have you guys seen his picture yet?
No, I have to look.
He switched it to a friggin' little carrot person. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing.
It's great.
That is too funny. So, hey, welcome to the CRR Discord. And I want to give a shout out to my tribe mates that have been busting their asses with me on that Fresh Start server. Clev, Emitai, Johnny Wrench, he took a break because he couldn't handle it, the alpha attacks anymore. But we'll talk about that later.
I mean, it's not that, getting eaten by alpha raptors every 5 minutes.
Since he's been gone, they haven't had any attacks. We've not been attacked by an alpha.
I know. I'm telling you, I'm that bad luck magnet. Just bring them around.
It's so weird. But I wanted to say shout out to those hardcore peeps. And Goon, I don't know how often he's got to get in. Normally he plays on the weekends more, so. But my God, it's been travels. Or it's been. But we're making some progress. We're making some headway. So give a shout out to my tribe mates. Do you guys have any loot drops or shout outs or anything you want to start the show with?
Only one I have is I just wanted to thank Yogi for being generous enough to share the server that he got. He won a contest and got a server for us. Another game, but still. Thank you, Yogi.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was badass.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to be moving into Fresh from the Forge.
Fresh from the Forge!
We're going to share some tweets to get us started, if I can talk. All right, at Survive the Ark said, the Ark Evolution event is now active through 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, May 14th, with 1.5 times harvesting, mating, maturation, and egg hatching on all platforms. #PlayArk. And then at Sicko Game Mods, it's finally there, my second Ark map, Amissa. Get it while it's hot. Let me know what you think, and let me see your screenshots. So I put the link to that, and this is the creator who made the volcano map. Now they have busted out the Amissa map, but we'll talk about that later. And also, at Survive the Ark at Bubbly Wums and said Row. Wait, they said nothing. They were being tagged. Don't listen to me. And then also at GFizz41 shared the Ark Creative build off with Jen and Zen against GG Fizz. GG Fizz is a builder who does a lot of awesome builds in the game, but without using any mods. So he does it with all vanilla parts, and he has a YouTube channel, and I posted the link to the stuff, to the tweet and everything in the show notes. So if you want to watch the video that he made of the build off that happened on yesterday's stream, you can find it there.
Yeah, I like a lot of Fizz's builds.
Yeah, yes. I do too. I like him and UTC and Aaron Longstaff. Those three guys just amaze me with what they can build.
Awesome. Feel free to put those in the show notes too, because I'm sure if anybody wants to see what you're referencing, that'd be an easy way to find it. Also,
so, I'm a little disappointed in their Evo event, because originally it was supposed to be like a farm thing where you get extra crops and all this other stuff. And then you look in the forums, or not the forums, like the comments on that, and people were crying about it. They were so upset. Now all of a sudden it's a normal Evo event. And I'm like, well, I hope to God they didn't just give in to pressure, because that would be lame.
But it's not a normal Evo event, because most of them don't have the maturation, do they? Most of them it's just taming and experience.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a farming one where you only got extra, like it was bonuses to harvesting, bonuses to crops, and something else that I can't think of off the top of my head. And I feel like they kind of maybe folded into pressure. I'm hoping that's not the case, but they basically went and said that, oh, it wasn't ready.
I
don't know about that.
All about, because I did see Jen say that magically the changes weren't ready, and I'm like, how in the hell? I didn't know that this was the backstory.
But do you even need increased crops? Because I mean,
might not, but I mean it's a cool little thing. It's different.
Yeah, I was thinking crops is one of those things that, yeah, I mean, when you first put them out, it kind of feels like a pain to get them, but then once you have them going, then it usually you always have enough stuff. At least for me. I mean, I've always tried to do crops. Kind of one of the first things I do, just because I love all the making all the food and for kibble and all that stuff. But
yeah, I just hope it wasn't something where they just folded to pure pressure though, because that would suck.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird, like, would they throw, I don't know, it wouldn't be equivalent, but if they're getting a lot of heat and stuff and people complaining about that TEA tribe, would they be like, oh, well, geez, we're just, but I don't feel like that would have been, like, their way to throw them a bone on that, but it's kind of weird that they're so responsive to something that they can change versus something that they can't. I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah.
They pick and choose their battles.
Yeah.
Very openly. The one's a teeny tiny campfire and the other one's a blazing bonfire.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And it's just that they're trying to be creative with the Evo events and change it up, so it's not just the same thing that helps for small things. So I don't know. I hope they keep trying to be creative with it, and I hope it really wasn't them folding at peer pressure.
I feel like the harvesting would have been cool for like the official people that, you know, want to keep working on their kibble and stuff. It probably would have been good for it probably would have been really good because they opened up a lot of those fresh servers in this past week for people maybe to help boost their kibble game and getting out more harvesting and stuff. Maybe that would have probably went in hand to hand pretty good.
Yes, it's just one of those things that, you know, even with kibble, I mean, you need one vegetable, you know, per kibble, and 10 mejoberries. It's like, you know, you know, each day, with the greenhouse, it's more than once a day. You get 150 vegetables in each crop plot. You know, if you have a greenhouse in there.
Yeah.
And so that's enough for 150 kibble. So I mean, do you really need more than that? You know, per day? Are you going through more than 100?
Like new people don't really have it might help because you can't really bust out those greenhouse structures yet. You're low B. So I was looking at it that way because they opened up a lot of new servers this week and even beginner ones for just straight up beginner people. So I figured it might have been a nice kind of boost, but then again, it might have been, you know, a false advertising. That's
like maybe they selected the wrong thing or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could see. But we have some patch notes. This is the first one in a couple weeks. Version 279.275 fixed multiple holes and collisions and general bugs across all the maps. Fixed a bug where the Poison Wyvern would loot players' bodies from
that's funny.
Isn't it? Oh, goodness. Like, what? It would be even funnier if the fog just lifted the packages up and brought them to the writer. That would have been funny.
Just go in to pick up your body and you're emptied.
I could have swore that I've had my own Poison Wyvern kill me before and loot my body.
It's happened to me.
Yeah.
Yep, I thought this has happened before. It totally happened to Goon.
No, it shouldn't happen anymore. They fixed that bug.
Darn it. And apparently there's no more undermeshing.
And apparently.
I'm wondering if they're actually referring to wild ones, though, not tamed ones. Because tamed ones, they have a setting to where they can harvest after they kill something.
But not player. But it shouldn't happen to player bodies even with that turned on.
No, it does, because in PvP, if you kill somebody with your dino is supposed to get that loot.
Oh, so, not your own, though.
Well, if the dino kills you.
Yeah, but that's true. What about Gigas? They don't loot you, do they?
Only if they kill you. If you have the harvest...
It'll all be broken gear. I'm talking about your own.
I don't think you can loot your own, though, unless it actually is the one that killed you.
But Cliff platforms can no longer be built on top of Obelisk terminals. Cliff platforms can no longer be placed on world barriers. That is hilarious. I would have been like, what? These people are brilliant. That go out of their way and be like, I think I'm going to see if this cliff platform fits on the world barrier.
How many buildings do you think just all of a sudden collapsed after this update?
This is so freaking hilarious. Oh my god. Fixed a bug which would cause flyers to flee from players when attacking water. Karkinos can no longer be grabbed by Quetzal grabbing a Karkinos. Fix a bug which would cause the Leech to be stuck on a player screen while they die. Fix a bug with ladders which would desync a character's client from the server. Fix a bug tame level 1 Griffin causing them to have negative health points. Fixed a level of detail issues with the Tapejara saddle. Improved flyer AI so that they no longer do circles in the air when attacking each other.
Ooh,
that
would be interesting to see.
Yeah, because, they'd sit there and fight and they just kind of spiral up into nowhere.
Right.
Come back.
So weird. Fixed a bug with, I've lost my place, blah, blah.
Reduced
Pachyrhino. Esme loses her place. Fixed level detail issues with I already did that one. Reduced Pachyrhino head armor. Sorry, Cricket. Reduced Flak armor scaling by 7%. Reduced health points of Argentavis by 20%. Reduced cloning cost of Griffin. Reduced the speed of the Plesiosaur and Ichthyosaurus by approximately 35%.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's quite. Reduced the amount of durability damage taken from projectiles when a glider suit is equipped by approximately 60%.
So apparently your glider suit comes with a bulletproof vest now.
Well, it was basically nerfed before. Put a glider suit on.
I swear they should have just made the glider suit something different. Instead of being attached onto.
Just like a skin, right?
Well, that's what it is. Yeah. It is a skin right now, but
it's like.
So what it is if your chest, well, if your chest breaks, then your armor comes off, and since the glider suit is attached onto that armor, the glider suit comes off. If they would have just figured out some other way to just have the glider suit as based like some type of accessory that couldn't take damage, or
I'm wondering after they nerfed it if it was taking more damage than intended. Like it wasn't counting for its like if it was like
right. I'm looking at it like when I think that it should have been like a skin, like it should have been like all the other skins. Like those don't take damage. That's why I was wondering.
Well, the glider suit itself doesn't take damage. It's your chest piece takes damage.
Oh, okay.
And then if your chest piece breaks, then your glider comes off. So, like I said, I think the glider should have been some type of like accessory, because then you could still use a chest piece skin, because it stinks like they have these different skins. Like I have the Wyvern armor skin.
Right.
I can't wear it on my glider suit.
Yeah, they should change. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why they don't do that. That would be a really good idea. Reduce the resource cost of the Fabricated Sniper recipe scale by 25%.
Cool.
Change the weight of cloth, hide, chitin, flak, fur, desert, hazard, and ghillie.
What direction though?
I'm guessing probably higher for a lot of them, because a lot of them are only weigh like 0.5, and so I'm guessing they probably put them up higher.
Well, fur weighs a lot now anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe they decrease fur and increase flak.
Yeah, because it just said they changed, so maybe they just balanced them more?
It doesn't say tech or riot either. That's interesting.
Yeah.
True.
Increased greenhouse structures, health points, and decay timer. The health point increase is not retroactive and will only affect new structures.
So basically you gotta tear everything down and then build it again.
Yikes.
S+.
For all those
look at
this
this
that are
vault
attacking your
storage.
Vault storage slots from 150 slots to 350 slots.
I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, damn time.
Oh, added Pincode to the refrigerator. That's good. Change Tek Saddle so that it can no longer be shot during lightning storms.
Interesting.
And those have been your friendly neighborhood patch notes.
So,
go ahead.
Can we back up a little bit? What's the deal with this reduced flak armor scaling? Reduced flak armor scaling by 7%. Scaling?
Reduced flak armor scaling. Oh,
maybe the armor values.
Yeah, maybe the quality.
How much armor is in there?
Yeah, from the armor values for the quality.
Yeah. Reduce the flak armor
maybe
scaling.
I'm just not reading
I
it
know,
right.
maybe it's the because it doesn't say resource cost, so I'm guessing it's probably the armor.
But there's
value.
nothing to compare the scaling to, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, that's true. That's sneaky.
I guess it's all those internal values, if whatever it is, I don't know.
I had one question about the Karkinos one.
Google
Yeah,
it.
so did I. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. So a Karkinos can no longer be grabbed by a Karkinos?
Karkinos can no longer be grabbed by a Quetzal grabbing our Karkinos.
It sounds like a Quetzal that was carrying a crab could pick up another crab.
Huh.
I mean, because Karkinos can no longer be grabbed by a Quetzal that's grabbing a Karkinos.
It does sound like that.
So it sounds like you used to be able to somehow carry two of them.
It sounds like two different kinds of Karkinos. A Quetzal grabbing Karkinos and a regular Karkinos.
That's the way the grammar is.
It's silly. I was going to look to see if there were any comments on that.
Can Quetzals even carry Karkinos?
Yeah, I think according to the Dodo X, they can. It's the only thing that can carry them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking to see if anybody...
That actually would be pretty funny, though, to see a Quetzal flying through the air with like a long chain of Karkinos behind it.
Carrying 6 crabs or something.
He's like, I went fishing.
New way to move your tribe across the map.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, who is Nubsleeve? Alright, sorry, I was trying to dig to see if I could find some more info for you, Fel, on that, to see, I put it in to see if I could find anything on Reddit, but it took me down an entirely different... what is
a
this?
new rabbit hole?
Yep.
Reddit hole.
So, this is something that I did find that is not related, but kinda. It's kind of related in the fact that we've been talking about the TEA. So wouldn't you know that I punch in what you wanted, the 7% scaling, it sends me to Reddit, and then I immediately get sent to regarding the TEA controversy and accountability by Nubsley. So
I think even if you it doesn't matter what you type into Google or anything, it's just straight to T.
Straight to that damn Ark T that T tribe.
I'm pretty sure at this point you could Google search Lipton and you'd come up with the T tribe.
Yes, I think you would.
Oh, that's awesome.
So true. Because
Brisk.
I'm trying to see who Nubsley is. I don't know if Nubsley is actually. Oh, it's an. I don't know who Nubsley is. I don't know. I don't know if they're like...
He works for Wildcard, doesn't he?
I'm wondering. The name sounded familiar, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is what their post said. I've seen a lot of people directing their anger and hate towards the wrong people and things in regards to TEA or T controversy, and I wanted to help get some attention being directed towards the people who are more likely to be capable of actually enacting change. Jet is there to handle most things in regards to community relations, but some situations are better addressed by executive level employees. Jet is a community facing voice of Studio Card. His responsibilities include, among other things, executing orders and strategies passed to him by decision makers. Please keep in mind that when companies like Snail Games buy companies like Studio Wildcard, there are often lots of office politics as they, like any business does, try to maximize profits and growth. I can't say whether or not there's truth to the rumor that members of the Tribe T are associated with employees of Snail Games and are using that to get preferential treatment that would gain them an unfair advantage over the other players. But if it's true, then it's likely happening somewhere at the Snail Games level, and She High would be aware of it. I do believe this is a worthwhile pursuit of the community, and I encourage you to continue to demand answers. If there is unethical behavior going on, then you deserve justice. These are some of the top decision makers, and then they put all the contact info for LinkedIn and their Twitters and stuff like that for Jeremy Steiglitz, Jesse Repsack, and Doug Kennedy. And yeah, so then...
Man, talk about putting on blast.
And She High, they put Snail Game people, Peter King from Snail Games, and Bobby Henson. So I'll put that link in the show notes if you guys want to take a look at that. But yeah, I can't say... I don't know who or how in tune this Nubsley person. It might just be a poster on Reddit. I can't really say, so whatever. But there's some information there that'll save you from having to dig it up if you want to complain. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So if Snail Games bought Wildcard and they own Ark now, are they going to change their name to Akatina Games?
They've had them for a while now. They've been like the parent kind of company, like the umbrella kind of company. So.
You missed the punchline to that joke.
You totally just went right past it.
I'm in serious mode. I'm in cut and paste mode. I didn't have the capacity left in my cognitive function to catch your joke.
That was fantastic.
I am in copy paste. Like, I gotta try to get this in there. So do it again. Let me hear it again.
I said, since they virtually own Ark now, are they going to change their name to Akatina Games?
Still don't get you.
The snail in Ark
because they're so slimy.
You're so crazy. Sorry, didn't catch it.
She's blonde at
It
heart.
must not have
okay.
been that good because it didn't catch me. I didn't,
Did you dye your hair blonde?
Got it.
You out-arc the Ark Queen.
Yeah, I'm not the Ark Queen.
She doesn't know the real names and stuff.
Yeah, I don't have to know that. I think I always pronounced it Achatina. I guess I didn't. Achatina.
Akatina, whatever.
I never.
Same
the
thing.
Akatina sounded like it was like some name of a
Bless
sword or something.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Bless you.
Yeah.
It's a dance.
It's all the dance.
Hey, Akatina.
You're so good on that. See, I got that one. Hey, Akatina. Hey. All right. Anyways.
Soft face here.
Now I'm freaking earwormed, man. All right. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Falloon for the Community Crunch 130 update.
Community Crunch 130, new beginner servers and more. Hey, survivors, welcome to the latest edition of the Community Crunch. Upcoming servers, beginner servers. This is a little bit old, but tomorrow, May 8th, at approximately 10 a.m. PST, we will be launching a new set of servers called Beginner Servers. Beginner official servers are an experience for new Ark players to test the waters without the threat of thoroughly developed tribes. Unlike our regular servers, these have undergone some changes. First of all, there have been some limitations on how much player or dino can progress. Player levels hit their cap at 44, and the highest encounter possible for wild creatures is level 30. Tamed creatures can receive up to an additional maximum of 30 levels. Due to the progression limits, some engrams are not achievable through leveling up, but are found via supply crates. Some other changes include the disabling of alliances and tribe sizes. I feel like I tripped on myself there. Some other changes include the disabling of alliances and tribe sizes have been limited to 5 members maximum. Still don't sound right. Once established on a beginner server, survivors can choose to exit into the rest of the official server network by uploading their character and moving to another server for the full Ark experience. Downloads of any kind are permanently disabled on beginner servers, so once you upload your character and leave the server, you can't come back. Beginner servers will be available to play on all platforms, PC and consoles, tomorrow. Tune into our Twitter account for further release of information. I was just thinking the maximum of 30 levels, or what did it say? Highest encounter possible.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like the lowest setting? Anyway.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious because they didn't distinguish whether it was going to be PvE or PvP at all, which that kind of bothers me a little bit.
I'm guessing probably both.
I would guess both as well.
And if there's
I remember looking and seeing both types.
And if there's both, I
guarantee
there's going to be some alpha trolls in here on the PvP servers just screwing people over. Because think about with WoW how many people were running level 19 twinks. It's going to be the same type of thing. I mean, except they just won't be able to twink their gear, but they'll have all the experience behind how to play the game, and they'll just be screwed.
I've been saying that the past week or two.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a neat idea, but
I think it would be a fun faux science to go do like a beginner PvP server just for fun.
That would be funny.
Because nobody could get too over
I wonder
developed.
if that is going to be a thing where people, because I'm a fan of the servers that don't have all the tech, because I feel like it brings the PvP back down to where it should be and not all this crazy shit. And I think we've all talked about there's so much of a gap there a lot of the times when it comes to what some tribes have and what mega tribes have. So I always like the servers that are more primitive and don't allow all those tech engrams. I'm always a fan of that kind of stuff because I feel like it makes you be more creative. You have to find ways around stuff. The other play styles I'm sure are too, but I kind of like this type of PvP better. So
let's see.
That never want to leave.
Yeah, there's 3 of each. They're all on the island, and there's 3 PvEs and 3 PvPs, and it's split between North America and Europe.
So what are the accounts right now? Players, what does it say?
It's showing for PvE 429 has 27 of 70. The PvP 428 has 65 of 70. PvE 430 has 30 of 70, and that's all the North American. On the European side, the 2 PvPs have 18 of 70 and 21 of 70, and the PvE server has 14 of 70. So yeah, the one North American PvP server it looks like it's going to stay pretty full.
Did I hear you say there was 1 PvP and 2 PvE?
There's 2 PvEs and a PvP for North America, and there's 2 PvPs and a PvE for Europe.
So it's interesting that they flipped them.
So by putting it at level 44, level 45 is when you start getting all the metal building structures. So you won't have any metal building structures unless that's some of those engrams that you can find. Dire bears, Karkinos, megalodons are some of the saddles you won't have. You won't have anything with fabricators. Grappling hooks are level 47, so you won't have grappling hooks. Let's see, Thylos, you won't have Megatheriums. You won't have any firearms because fabricated pistol and pump action shotgun and flak, you won't have any of that stuff.
This would be hilarious. I agree.
It really would.
I think this would be fun.
like I said, depending on what stuff they have, they're going to have as the engram drops. Or you won't have trank darts.
I'm sorry. Said that some of the engrams are not achievable through leveling, but are found via supply crates. What I'm wondering is,
I wonder which ones.
If they increased the drop rate of the engrams.
Yeah. I wonder if you can find like plant species X, large I cannot talk. Crop plots, because you can't. I don't think you can build them at that level, right?
Crop plots. Let's see. Crop. Large at 36. So yeah, you'll have large crop plots.
That would be pretty much your only base defense is plant species X.
Chitin armor.
So,
Chitin armor is the best that you'll have.
What level do the grenades come in? Because it looks like that might be the only explosive you could even.
Improvised explosive devices are level 44, so those will be attainable.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's in the drops.
And poison grenades and regular shotguns, regular grenades, long necks.
What they're going to end up having to do if it does get overran with people who are pretty much like what we're talking about doing, or like grouping up and getting in there, is they're probably going to have to put like a time limit on your playtime there, right?
Like because when you hit max, it automatically boots you out.
It just gives you, with 24 hours to leave or whatever, and then kicks you. Like they're going to have to do that to keep people from just camping the server and camping the players, kind of a thing. Because if they don't, that's going to happen.
Yeah, because the more time you spend in there, the more opportunities you're going to have to find find a fabricator blueprint, so on and so forth.
That's why I was wondering what blueprints they're going to have in there.
But what would be cool is if they just made this one of those play styles, for the future, and not just don't make it just for beginners. Like, keep this one beginners, put a time limit on it for your exit, but then make a server like this for normal people, maybe up the tribe to 10 people or whatever. But I think this would be a fun server to play on for real, minus all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, unofficially, you could set the same thing through I&I settings. You could set the level to 44, disable engrams.
Yeah,
you'd have to figure out how to make it where the engrams, because it says the engrams are going to drop. So I wonder if somehow you can learn them, or if it just means blueprints.
Right, and I know you weren't here last week, but they actually are asking for people to give them ideas for new server types.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're coming out with. I forgot that you weren't here, so you didn't know that. But that's why they're coming out with these different types and styles, and they want people to give them ideas. So
how about play as a dino?
Stuff. I see, right?
Wow, where's that come from? Huh.
There was a mod for play as a dino, but I don't think they ever finished it, did they?
Well, they were supposed to have that as like an official game thing, I thought.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like an official version, kind of like Prim Plus.
Yeah, it started as a mod, and then they took it over, like they're going to make it a thing. That's true. Why not play as a dino? Interesting. All right, Goon, you're next.
Alrighty. Sorry, I had to get my show notes done.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, well, community live streams. Yesterday was the first Ark live stream. They will be continuing every other week on Thursdays. The community team will be doing bi-weekly live streams. During these live streams, we will have Zen, Ro, Chris, and Jen bringing Ark News, celebrating modding, and the community as a whole every other week. We'll be playing Ark, showing off mods, and showing off your community creations for all to see. Survivors are invited to join us in chat, and sometimes even in game, to play and talk with the community team and other developers. You can submit your artwork to their streaming email address, arkfans@studiowildcard.com. Be sure to follow the Twitch page so you don't miss a stream at twitch.tv/survivetheark. This is in the show notes.
And did you guys, so we were kind of talking about earlier if you guys got the chance to watch this at all. And Goon, you said you were at work?
Yeah, so I couldn't hear what they were talking about, but I got to watch them do their builds and stuff.
And did anybody else get a chance to watch the video or the stream yesterday?
What time of day do they even run the live streams?
It was
like 1 o'clock for us.
Standard time.
Okay, so basically when I'm at work. So yeah.
Right, and that's why I thought it was kind of weird, I guess, because it's not normally their, like a prime streaming time, but it's probably while they're on their work hours, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's probably their normal hours.
Yeah. So, I got to watch it. I was loading my dishwasher, and I thought, oh, what the hell? And I fired it up on my laptop, and I went.
Oh, which means she was drinking her alcohol.
No, I save that for nighttime.
Getting her dishwasher loaded.
Yes, exactly. No, I get you. I am so gonna work on picking up on your dad jokes. Just they fly over my head. I'm like, where? Yeah. So I thought I don't feel bad.
You should see when Cricket and I are in
I can only imagine.
TeamSpeak together.
I can only imagine. It's like probably like a ping pong game. Cha-cha, 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 cha-cha.
It's like, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
You guys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're nuts, man. But I don't feel so bad. I could say I watched the whole presentation of the map and all that stuff. And then I watched, like, most of their build, and I had to call it. I had to stop because I'm like, I can't do this. I can't, like, watch the whole thing because I didn't get to watch the whole thing of the build. But I did watch it, and I don't feel bad when we don't know stuff. Like, I don't know. I've heard of Nubsley, but I can't for the life of me, like, right now, remember if it's just, like, a moderator in Reddit or if it's, like, an actual person. But I've heard the name before. But these guys, I kind of felt like they were just... I don't know if it's because we podcast and we're so used to, like, finding information before we talk about it, because I had no information. Like, I was kind of, like... getting a little judgy because we do it like every week, this kind of a thing, and they clearly came to the thing like, hey, I guess I'll see you at the live stream at 1 p.m. next week. And like, they never talked, they never got like notes or nothing together, never like looked up information. So like Chris and Jen would ask Zen Ro, so tell us about this map. Is this what is this the map creator's like first map? And I was like, I don't know. And then it's like everything was like, I don't know. And they're like, well, is he in stream right now? Is he in the chat? I don't know. What? I would have been like, you should have had the guy.
Maybe she's trying to prove a point.
Like, how do you not know?
I'm like, what is going on here? You know?
I would love to have been in the room after that stream to hear them yelling at him.
Well, they didn't seem to like. It just seemed there was no chemistry between the three of them, really. There was no information. Like, you could tell, like, they just showed up and been like, here we go, we're going to stream. We don't know what we're going to do first. We don't know what. And I'm just thinking, like, guys, get this shit done beforehand. Because I think we do it every freaking week. So it's like normal so I'm looking at it from a different set of eyes because I'm like, we could totally pull this off way better than they could have, because there was nobody trying to make conversation. Like, Fo and I are really good at that. Cricket's really good at that. It takes a mix of people who are just talkers, people who are knowers, people who are knower talkers, people who are detail oriented. You know, like, we all bring something to the mix. These guys flatline. Like, there's no personality between all three of them.
You gotta give them some time. It was their first show.
No, dude, no. You gotta have a driver up in there. There was nobody. Like, Chris was trying to drive, the Kuda Core dude or whatever on Twitter. He was trying, but he was not cut out for it. It's not. He has the desire, not the ability. Not right now. No. They needed somebody a little bit more pizzazz, a little more personality, like a host of sorts, to, like, bounce off from them, because they were just not as great. But the chemistry picked up between, like, Zen and Jen when they actually had to, like, build against the Fizz builder. Because then they had to build a dodo. And they put two of the devs together because Fizz is so great at what he does, and he was going to build a doed. So, you know, that there was a little bit more charisma and stuff like that, but you could tell they're not really extroverts by nature. Chris is probably the most out of the three, and then I thought, like, I feel like they should have contacted, like, if they contacted that YouTuber to go up against him on that, then why couldn't they have gotten a hold of the map maker that they're actually spotlighting on the stream? Doesn't that seem like it would make sense? They were asking,
you know, just a little.
Huh?
You know, just a little.
Just a little, you know? I thought, because they would fire questions, they wouldn't know. And they kept going, is he in the chat? Is he in the chat? I'm thinking, somebody dropped the ball. Somebody totally should have gotten hold of that guy.
The moment before they clicked the start streaming button.
Yes!
What was the map, and what was his name again?
Yes, they'd be like, I feel like there should be a story about this area of the map. And like, Chris is like, this is so great. This map area is so amazing. I feel like there's a story here. Do you know if there's a lore based on this? And then like Zen's like, I don't know. And then like, is the guy in the chat, Are you in the chat? If you're in the chat, let us know. And then, like, nothing would happen. I'm just like, oh, you guys.
They probably had chat turned off too, which is makes that a little bit funnier because I'm sure that whole community was blowing them up.
Yes. And I want to say a personal, because this is an explicit podcast, fuck you fucking assholes. I'm going to say this because what they did is they sat there and was attacking Jen and calling her ugly, and nobody talked anything nobody talked anything about Chris to be like, dude, you need to shave or whatever. Like, he looked like he rolled out of bed and hopped in the chair. Nobody said anything to him, but Jen had on her lipstick was on great.
I mean, it was on. That's not what they're there for.
Yeah, but that's all they did was pick on her, and I want to say, fuck you, assholes. If you were getting on that stream to...
Whoa.
Fuck you. I will say it. I will say it again. I will say it 20 times. You have no business, okay? And you know, it's normally, it's just horrible people that do that. So I would not blame them. They should turn that stuff off. She's there to do her job and to share something, not to sit there and try to be somebody for some 14-year-old whacking it off in the bathroom. Sorry, go away. Go away, weirdos. But Jen is beautiful, and she has every right to roll out of bed and be herself if she wants to. She shouldn't have to put on her face to get on stream so that she doesn't get, crucified by the...
Why are these kids like whacking it?
It's ridiculous.
Like use a CS catalog like a normal kid.
It's so weird. But that's, so it's such, Twitch is that way anyways, but...
It's just a bunch of dumb people who are just being trolls, and they think they're funny, but it's really annoying, and it's depressing.
Standard Time, these guys, totally, they're probably those people on the official server, our neighbors, Johnny. They probably are sitting at home eating their soft cat food out of a can in their closet wearing their mommy's little bathrobes. Those are the people making fun of Jen.
If I were her,
nice little supply of dye so I could put Christie's can on that billboard.
I hear you.
If I were her, and seeing that stuff, I'd look over at my partner sitting right next to me and I'd go, yeah, but they bought the game.
Yes, exactly.
I'm like, what server are they on? Ban them from that.
Yes, ban them.
Destroy their shit.
Say what you want, but you bought the game.
Or do it the other way. Rat your hair up, put your robe on, make yourself look like a hot mess and just get up there. Because nobody's going to, you're going to be raked over the coals anyways. You might as well run with it, So, I just thought
actually have never seen her, but I'm sure she looks just fine.
Absolutely. Either way, but my God, I just thought these guys, this is why, this is horrible. But yeah, so from a person, like an experienced person's point of view, I could critique them, but I'm not critiquing how they look and how whatever, that was horrible. They're humans.
There's no point in making it personal.
No. So, and that's what I hate about that. I kind of feel bad for them that they're putting themselves out there like every 2 weeks now. And if you don't have a thick skin, that can get to you. So I really hope that they never look at chat because it's a sewage filled place, and I hope that they don't even look at it. I hope they don't go back and look at it because it's stupid.
I really just hope it doesn't affect her self-esteem because that would be pretty tragic.
Business. Nope, it's she was on point, and they had no business. So and that's
the thought process. You're so ugly. Now fix this.
Yes. That's
okay.
Exactly
I'm gonna jump right on it now.
You nailed the entire thing right there with that sentence, Val. Right there. Totally. It's the same kind of people that, write in and, say stupid things like remove that person from the show because of this and remove that person from the show. They try to tell us and we're like, we run the show. We're not removing ourselves, assholes. We've had like 3 people, say that in the course of our 2 years, so we're doing pretty good, but dear God, so ridiculous. People are stupid. But, so, yeah, I think you can still go and watch their stream, and then Fizz made it into a YouTube video, so that's handy. So that's
cool. Go check it out.
Yeah, the link is in the show notes.
Well, I think everyone listening should all tweet them and say that Esme should be put on that show.
No, I don't want to be put on the show. I will be her
go up there in a
bodyguard.
bathrobe.
I will be her freaking bodyguard. That's what I will be.
I know. You could be on there.
I'll be like, fuck you. Stand in the corner, asshole. Stand in the corner. Like it just fires me up. I just can't stand people like that. But, Mr. Cricket, you got something to share with us.
The mod community updates. Last week we made a change to the mod tutorial contests. We increased the length of the time for contests going forward to be a full month, and we doubled the awards. This should make it easier for people to participate without feeling like they have to sacrifice on their mods, and for non-native English speakers who found it difficult to put something together under the previous time constraints. This change takes effect with the current freestyle tutorial contest, which is now accepting submissions until the end of the month. Now it's time to announce the winner of the 4th mod tutorial contest. The theme was Space Day, a day dedicated to math, science, technology, and inspiring people to take an interest. The winning submission was a collaborative effort between Red Dwarf and Pleasure for a solar panel mod. They also included a bonus tutorial video that shows the entire process of creating the custom assets for the mod. All of the submissions and links to the tutorials are available in the contest thread. So as I was reading this, I was reading it to myself, getting ready to read it, I went and, the official forums are down, but I was able to find under the Steam Workshop, I was able to find the solar panel mod under Red Dwarf's Workshop. It looks like essentially you can make a level 59 requires the generator to learn the engram, and then you can make a solar panel. And from the looks of it, it provides power during the day, and then in its inventory you can craft batteries that will charge up during the day and will allow you to run power during the night. And as it's saying, each battery lasts for 1 hour during the night. So essentially, I think if you craft enough batteries, you have basically then it looks like unlimited power.
Does it show how many batteries you can put in the?
It looks
panel?
like a lot.
Oh, okay.
Looking at the inventory slot, it looks like it's a full screen worth of slots. 50 looks like.
Oh, that's cool.
But it looks like you should need
24.
50 because, according to the tooltip on the battery, it says rechargeable battery. When placed in a solar panel, each battery provides 1 additional hour of in-game power whenever the sun sets. Requires a full daylight cycle to charge.
That's really cool.
It looks like you should only have to, make whatever it is, 8, 10, however many hours there are at night.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, for those of us that work, it's going to be, a bit longer.
Well, but it looks like, I'm assuming that's in-game night, and so during the in-game day, it should charge the batteries to full, and then during the night, it should drain them all. The panel should provide the electricity and charge them up.
Well, better yet.
If I'm reading it correctly.
How well would it work in Aberration?
I think you would probably need to make sure you have enough batteries for when it's a 90% night day.
I bet you those are more meant for like scorched earth, because you know how the storms knock out all your electricity. But I don't know, the storms might knock that out too.
Yeah, because I think the storms knock out the windmills.
Yeah.
Well, in a mod, it might not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But it seems neat.
It's a cool idea, though. I like it.
Yeah, especially because it seems like it would be an easy way to have, remote power for just, a little thing here and there instead of having to, make a generator and bring gas over to it. You just have a little mobile, fridge area next to it, next to a taming pen that has all the power it needs. And
one thing I'm curious about with that is if the batteries that you charge up in the solar panel could be used to power other things like the charged batteries from Aberration. If that's the case, you could have one site that's charging, like, you said it could hold 50, up 50 batteries.
50 batteries.
You could charge up all those batteries during the day, and then you would be able to power, like, say, a fridge that was on a remote part of your base or on a totally different site.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if power consumption comes into play here too, or if it's just you get power for X amount of time. There's no you know what I mean? So if you hook a one refrigerator, it uses 10 units. If you hook up 2 refrigerators, it's 20 units of power. Yeah.
Well, they haven't put any system in like that in there yet, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't done something where, each generator can only provide so many basically watts of electricity.
Yeah.
It does seem silly that you can have one generator to support 50 fridges, 20 turrets, and all
which in a way I'm okay with that because
stuff.
I don't want it's less structures for your base.
Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe you could, since you can put so many batteries in it, you could take batteries out and use them outside the thing. Like if you're on a Quetzal, and you want to, just take some batteries and put some lights on, so you don't have to do a generator in your Quetzal and all gas. Or just take a couple batteries, put on some lights while you fly your Quetzal around at night.
Yeah,
kind of.
I think that's what Johnny was saying. Basically, instead of using charge batteries, you can use these batteries. That could be cool.
Yeah, kind of like they are already doing with like the keypad and some things on Aberration. You can get those batteries or whatever they're called there, and you can power different things with them.
So since it was the winner of the mod, I guess it's the mod tutorial contest. So I guess it's the fact of showing how to make a mod. But I don't know if that means that they're that they like the mod itself or just like the tutorial of the mod for this contest, because the mod tutorial contest, not the mod contest. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see the solar panel come up sometime.
It is a mod. Yeah, it is a mod, but
but that's what I was saying.
I don't know if it's I don't think it's a sponsored one yet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Since it's it's not it's not a winner of the mod of a mod contest. It's a winner of a mod tutorial contest. So I guess they were mainly focusing on the fact of here's how to make a mod. Here's how to make program in a solar panel and create the assets, because it sounds like that's more what this contest was for. But
science.
Yeah, I think it's cool though too if that by entering these contests, because what they're in essence doing is they're wanting people to show how they're doing this stuff, so then they can inspire others, but then also they're getting some eyes on their mod too. So I think that's a good thing, because Zen has taken over that part of the process. So I think that's cool by entering into these contests for tutorials that you are getting extra attention on your mod, and maybe they will want to sponsor your mod. Because he did say in the stream that they're not looking for completed mods. They're wanting to inspire people to complete their mods and to create and to continue creating. So I thought that was cool that they did that. Definitely can't hurt. All right, so are you ready to hand it over to Mr. Wrench?
I'm all set.
All righty.
I gotta get back to my spot. The Ark Superfan Collector's Edition. We still have a limited number of Ark Collector Editions on PlayArk.com for purchase. It includes our special edition items, dossier book, map, necklace, and soundtrack, but does not include the game or season pass. Grab all the cool collector's items. Worldwide shipping is available, and it's at PlayArk.com. I looked at what was in there, went online and looked, and it's pretty cool. But you can still, if you're on a console, you can find the same thing with copies of the game in it. I think that's kind of more directed at the PC people there, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got an Ark necklace, and it's got a world map in it that rolls up, and you fold it out, and it's got the island map on it and everything.
It's cloth.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool box and stuff that it comes in.
Did you get one, Goon?
Yeah, I have one.
Ew. How much did you pay? Their websites are down right now, so...
So it's just mirrors that
I think it was 70 or something like that.
Okay. Was that without the game?
Yeah, without the game.
Okay.
But they did that because of the Superfan collectors, because there were so many people who had bought the when it was out first, beta? That they didn't want to rebuy it when they came out with the collector's set. They didn't need the game because they bought it as a beta. So they came out with this Superfan Collector's Edition.
I like the concept because I didn't want to buy the game again.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah.
So check
I'm surprised they had extras, honestly.
They've been having those extras for a while now.
I went on Google and went into shopping and to look and see if I could find one of these. And there is a copy of Ark Survival Evolved Explorer's Edition for Xbox One on sale from PlayAsia.com for $140.
Crazy.
And then somebody on eBay has the Ark Survival Evolved Collector's Edition for Xbox One, and they have it for $270. So yeah, some people will need to adjust their pricing just a little bit, I think.
Just a little bit.
Well, I think it was 160 originally with the game.
Sounds about right.
Crazy. Oh, do you wear your necklace all the time?
No, they're very fragile.
See,
I think,
I did read that on Amazon.
I think Lumen had got his. It was already broken in the package when he got it.
So ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Oh, goodness. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not well made.
Just soldered together, maybe.
Yeah.
It's not even soldered together. It's
jeez.
It's the little gems in the corner of plastic, and that's where it snaps.
No.
Sounds like a 3D printer job.
All right, Mr. Blue.
All right. Ark Evolution event. The current Evolution event will take place on the 11th of May at 1 p.m. Eastern until Monday the 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll include 1.5 times harvesting, 1.5 times egg hatching, 1.5 gestation, and 1.5 maturation. Did you want me to go over to the tea thing?
I just put it in pink or whatever. I just put the link in there that we talked about earlier. So that was that. Yeah, that was just that Reddit, that Nubsley comment. I put in there just for our listeners if they wanted to read the Reddit article that we were talking about earlier about who to get a hold of and all that stuff. I put the link there right after Blue's evolution announcement. And then I also put the YouTube video that we watched little parts of. If you guys didn't know, it was the PPG Titan wiping the cheating tribe T part 1. So there is a part 2. Did any of you guys grab that? I didn't even watch that yet. But
no, I started watching the first one. But
yeah, I didn't really bother once they actually got into the base and wiped the base. I mean, I was happy with that to watch that far.
So I was putting that in the show notes. It said, so after the devs failed to do anything about the blatant cheating of T, we decided to see how far we could get in on one of their servers. So doing the devs work for them. And then, so it is a pretty interesting video. We were cracking up at some parts, and there's a lot of actual cool tips and stuff that you could just get off on how they were using their dinos. And kind of like whenever you watch any of the PvP videos and stuff, or any Ark videos, because there's always another way you can do something. And we all agree that we think that Paracers look like they're pretty badass compared to people using the Brontos with the platforms, because they were rocking a lot of Paracers with the platforms and stuff, and they were doing a lot. So
especially because you can fit so many more in there.
Yeah, definitely. And I figured that they would definitely be more mobile, the mobility of them and being able to turn faster than a freaking Bronto. But then the Bronto has that swipe, so I don't know how good. I guess everything has its own, but they're definitely faster. And like you said, you can fit in more. And what did you guys notice that they were doing with the gates? Like they were using dino gates for gates, but then filling it with fence foundation posts, stacking them, and then railings.
Yeah, it just makes it harder to advance on a base, and it's just good cover. It takes quite a bit to get everything blown up. You need a lot of C4 if you're going to raid an alpha like that.
Okay.
The thing I noticed on that particular video is that, some of the other videos I seeing where people are doing that, they're all metal gates, and I would say at least half of these, I wasn't really counting, but a lot of them were tech gates.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they must have a lot of resources available to them if they're going to put tech gate ways out there to be blown up.
They either have a lot of resources or they duplicated one.
Yep, that's the complaint.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
Yep.
I'll say it. I've seen it.
Yep.
Oh, banned.
Yep, banned.
It just costs.
I didn't say I'd do it.
It just costs one berry to craft it.
What's that?
That costs one berry to craft it.
Oh, just one berry?
One of the pictures that I saw, apparently somehow someone had made one of the glitches that was out there was basically making like a custom food recipe. That somehow there was a custom food type recipe that was cost one berry to make, but it would make a turret.
Oh my god.
And that was one of the things that people found when they were, I don't know if it was T or who was, I can't remember now, but I just remember one of the videos I was watching, some people found these custom recipes that basically you could put one berry and this recipe into a cooking pot and make a turret.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Now, how is that even possible? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's how are any of these hacks and exploits possible?
It's true.
Yep.
Well, on private server, obviously you can set those crafting requirements to whatever you want. You can literally make it one thatch if you wanted. I don't know if it's related to that or not, but
yeah, like I said, I just know that was the images that I saw was that they had a bunch of these things, and that was somehow an exploit to do it. But
Crazy.
I never wanted to look into
On
it.
the other hand, though, like, how many of those screenshots are photoshopped?
That's true.
True.
You know,
We
it's
don't know.
both hands washes the other hand.
Could be a lot of bitter ass trolls.
All right. Well, we're moving into Dino Spotlight. Here we go.
Come on down to Dinosaur City, your one-stop shop for help with all your plots. We got dinos to cover all your needs, from arms to alarms, from intimidating to intimate.
Well, hello there. Look at you being all sexy, staring at me with those hungry eyes, like you could just eat me up.
So come on down to Dinosaur City. We can help you to help yourself pick the dino that's right for you. And remember, we have a special every week, and this week's special is
The coelacanth. Yeah, the coelacanth. Crap, I lost my space. There we go. Okay. Coelacanth Natridia is one of the few creatures on the island with a relative which can be found back at home. The coelacanth thrive in the waters around the island, as well within rivers and lakes. Unlike most coelacanth Nutritia contains less oil and urea. I'm not sure what urea is. In fact, it's one of the healthy...
Urea is urine, essentially.
Fish that doesn't pee.
Fish
Okay.
pee? Yeah.
In fact, it's one of the healthier sources of meat I've yet found. Most Sicilians are upper... let's try this
Just
again.
like coals, right? That's why we call them coals.
Most coelacanth are opportunist feeders that eat anything smaller than itself, likely including baby water snakes, insects, and plant life, and perhaps each other.
Domesticated, the coals are they have limited intelligence, which makes them unsuitable for taming. The coals provide a viable source of meat for coastal or water-dwelling tribes. And also those damn Ichthyosaurus. Many a day have been spent fishing by the water's edge, often with surprising results. The coals often have consumed discarded garbage that is sometimes of great value.
Nice.
Due to their small size, though, a larger tribe would require a significant number of coals to feed itself. So you get one level... or you get XP for killing a level 1 is just 1 XP. It drops raw fish meat. They do not poop. And their drag weight is 25. And they are carryable by a Capro and a Tusoteuthis.
You'd think their drag weight would be more because they don't poop.
Because they don't, yeah, true. Then we found some sketchy info in the Ark Gamepedia. Because it states that they can damage thatch and greenhouse structures. And I said, but I don't think that's a thing, maybe because it claims they are reactive when regarding its aggression. Like, they had reactive in there, so like if you hit a coal, then it would come after you, kind of a thing. But Goon said he did some research.
Or they might have figured that out, maybe with using one of the mods you can play as a dino or something like that, and actually be able to control the fish or something and actually have it damage it.
If you build your greenhouse in the water, then you deserve a coelacanth to tear it up.
Well played, sir.
So that Gamepedia post is a little sketchy right there, but what did you say earlier that...
Oh, I ate some flowers, and the only thing in the water that attacked me are those the saber-toothed salmon. The coals did nothing. They just stared at me. I punched one, nothing. I don't know what they're talking about aggroing. I don't know how they can affect your thatch house or your greenhouse, because they don't do anything. They just stare at you.
Well, they do have limited intelligence.
Maybe if you eat a rare flower.
I did. I ate like 5 of them.
Wow.
The only thing that came after me was the salmon, and they came in fast and hard too, like piranha.
You love those rare flowers. Now that they've activated them to actually do something, they have been like the most fun thing for you to do.
Oh,
that's Goon's favorite thing.
He loves those rare flowers. Just as much as Luminen used to love them when he would just use them as food forever that never decayed. But then, they have a purpose now.
A Goon purpose.
A Goon purpose.
Yeah, I had I was trying to get the colds come after me, and some parasaur jumped off a cliff and jumped in the water after me.
I got him.
No, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Crazy. All right, well, it's that epic part of the show where Fel shares his majestic admin tip.
Okay, quick update on teleporting a player, or teleporting to a player, from episode 9 of the season. I had a couple of folks in CR, or console players, TSHX85 on Xbox, or his experience came from Xbox, and then Johnny Wrench, who is with us tonight on PS4. Both tell me to use the ID number on your specimen implant in conjunction with teleport commands. And one of them, I believe it was Johnny, you can correct me if I'm wrong, also suggested that capitalization was relevant to this command as well. I haven't been able to try it yet, but hopefully will soon. And my thanks goes out to TSH85 and Johnny Wrench for their suggestion. Today I wanted to introduce you to the console command list players. And this could be very useful for checking to see if players are online before you perform a dino wipe or a server restart. You could just be that one dude who's AFK taming his soon-to-be perfect tame Spino and didn't answer you when he called out in global chat. And nothing get a ration of you do in Discord when you restart the server. So you can use Show My Admin Manager and get visual of all the players, but I find this command at consoles faster and quickly lets you see who is on the server. And
what's also nice
one
about
of the things you got to do is hit tab twice. And this is basically a PC one. I haven't tried it on PS4. But if you hit tab twice, you get a big console window. And if you just type in cheat list players, it just gives you a list of the players that are currently on the server. What were you going to say?
I was saying it's also a nice tip to know, as a slightly related tangent, is that list players works in Pixark, where Show My Admin Manager doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and another good thing that list players is good for, kind of a past experience. We had on our server that we were me and another guy were running. We had a player decide to basically inside one of the other tribes and
ban his ass.
I used the list players to get a screenshot of who was on at the time the attack happened to prove who was innocent and who was a suspect. And so that's another pretty good use for it. Is just being able to see.
And was that on console?
Yeah, that was on console.
So when you do it on console, how does it work on console?
It's exactly the same. It's just the same command. Well.
I mean, where does the information show up?
I don't remember exactly how it shows up, but I know the command works.
Okay.
That's been a while back, so I don't remember exactly how it displayed it, but I know it does tell you who was on.
Because I know on PS4, if I just hit the options button, then it shows me a list of everybody that's on.
Yeah, it will.
So that's kind of nice. Okay, moving on. One more really fun command is set target dino color. And the struggling for words here, but the way you type that in is cheat set target dino color, and it's got two arguments. And the first one is the color region, the second one is the color ID. And you can find a list of color regions and color IDs on the wiki, just like you would if you were painting, right? So you could do that. But this is kind of a fun one to do. And also Cricket, didn't you tell me that if you change the dino color in this fashion, that it carries over in the breeding?
Yes, it basically it's set. As opposed to if you just painted it, that's just something going over the dino, where this actually changes one of the characteristics of the dinosaur itself. So yeah, when you do breeding, then there's same chance as anything for getting the color that you want passed down through the generations. But yeah, this is a way that all the children have a chance of collecting this color as well.
That's really cool. I think the first time I was introduced to this, back when Lee Harvey had the center server up, he showed me how to do it, and I think at the time it wouldn't pass on, but maybe. So I don't know when that changed. But anyway, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I like about this command too is, if you're running a server, it's something that you can get, if you want to be active, in the server as an admin, it's something that you can allow your users to have you do for it, because it's all cosmetic.
Right. Yeah.
And
really,
so it's one of those things.
It's a really cool thing.
Yeah, that you can never quite get. A lot of times it's hard to get the painting right, because even with the painting, it doesn't always fit some of the stuff right. Especially if you pull some of the paint templates off of like Ark template or whatever and stuff. Some of them are kind of require you to have a base color of like the bear. It's like the base color of the bear is black. The paint template has white, and it gives you a panda or something like that. But it won't paint the thing black and white. It'll only paint it white. So it's nice. It's nice for doing that. Plus, there's a lot more colors available using set target dino color than there is in the paint tools. I mean, the paints, you only have like 15 colors or 16 colors, where I think there's something like 30 something colors available with the set target dino color.
More than that, it's like 40 or 50 something. Quite a few.
So it's neat that you can get that stuff, and like I said, it's fun to just either give out as small rewards, or just say, hey, if I'm online and you want your dino a different color, come and let me know. I'll run I'll run this command 5 times on your dino.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not gonna break anything.
Right. It's really a fun one you can just kind of spread the love.
You could
I guess. It's
swap
really cool.
all colors easily. You just pick whatever colors you want to put on your dino.
Yeah, especially if they come in and say, hey, I want this one. I want region 1, 2, and 3 to be color 45. I want 0 and 6 to be
exactly
12, and
that's not a big deal,
Then you just run it,
Yeah, I had one of the guys decide to paint my Argentavis up like a parrot as a joke, and he thought it was going to piss me off. And when I saw it, I was like, "Who recolored my Argy?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I did. Don't you love how it looks?" I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I do. Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna leave it like that."
Awesome.
That's usually the best way to handle those situations, anyway.
Absolutely.
No, it actually turned out really good, and so I ended up leaving it like that on purpose. And it ate him up too, because he was doing it just to be a butt, and it didn't work because I liked it.
Oh, who was it? Provoke. When Provoke and I were in on Promo's Ragnarok PvP server, we were tribed up. And one time when I was logged off, and he was on, he painted all of my armor pink. I logged in, and I'm like, "What? Who painted my armor pink?" And he goes, "Well, guess." And I'm like, "Well, thank you. That's really cool." He goes, "Why does everybody always say that?" I guess you just got good taste.
Fight a troll with kindness.
Anyway, that's all I've got for the admin tip.
Alrighty.
Tips.
So now moving into Got Game. No, it's Got Name.
No, she doesn't.
If we're gonna do this thing, we need to come up with a name. Something, something catchy, something.
I've been thinking about it.
Electric. What about?
Oh, right. This is the segment where I use a random name generator to help you find a name for your tribe so you don't resort to Tribe of Bob or Tribe of Human. So, first up, we have a Wicked Brigade. I'm guessing Cricket said you can only use this one if you build in the Northeast.
Yes, how do you know it was me?
Because it's you, man. I know you have your little notes that you put next to our stuff.
It's the Wicked Brigade.
The Wicked Brigade. Revenant Discipline.
That sounds like a tribe full of undead priests on World of Warcraft.
It does.
Revenant Discipline. Closed Assailant, as opposed to an open assailant. Closed Assailant. Phantoms of the Lost Age.
I kind of like that one.
Phantoms of the Lost... Yeah, that is pretty cool. Revelations of Joy. Revelations of Joy. And then Cricket said, perfect for a PvP tribe.
No, that one was not me.
Oh! Who is that, then?
Well, who's the purple?
Johnny?
It's Anonymous Python, I'm guessing.
Oh, who's the Anonymous Python? Is that Blue?
Nope.
Damn it. Revelations of Joy. Recruits of the Pious. Terror of the Wolf. I like this one. Charfists.
Yeah, I like that one too. I already called dibs on it.
Yeah, Johnny's calling dibs.
I like it. Earthshade and Swift Brows. That's like Foe. I think Foe had to go try.
Why would I be named Swift Brow?
Because I feel like you'd like it. I feel like it's Swift Brows. It has Foe all over it.
Swift Brow.
the recruits of the pie sound like
Not
junior league at the clergy school or whatever.
Yeah.
Swift Brow.
No, Foe is more like 40 ounces of meat. That he would name a tribe like that.
Yes.
That's actually a good name. I'm just saying.
That was my RP
that was
tribe.
the old RP one server that we had.
That was so funny.
So is this the first week you've done this, or did you do this last week?
This is the third week.
Third week.
Oh, yeah, because I missed the week before from camping. But
Yes.
it's I like this because one thing I just learned today is, which is sort of relevant to current events, is Childish Gambino. Donald Glover. He got the name Childish Gambino from a Wu-Tang Clan name generator.
Really?
But apparently,
That is fantastic.
apparently back in like 2000 something, there was there was this Wu-Tang Clan name generator on the web, and he went on there and said basically, like, give me a name, and it came up Childish Gambino. He's like, I like that. That's what I'm gonna go with.
There you go. That's why I thought, I'm like, this would be fun to do. Because, we all sit there. I'm going to have to start doing, like, dino names, too. Because I know that I get so, like, I'm like, what do I want to name you? And you end up using, like, the same names. Or then I've noticed a lot of us don't even name them anymore.
Gentle Jousters.
Gentle Jousters. You're crazy.
We joust, but very gently.
Very gently.
Another PvP tribe name.
Swift Brows. Swift Brows.
Swift Brows versus Gentle Jousters. They're a rival.
Okay.
So I just found the Wu-Tang Clan name generator. Apparently, I am Arrogant Ambassador.
Arrogant! That is hilarious. Oh, goodness. That is a funny one. Wu-Tang named on a red R. That's funny. I would think we all should try to do that one then.
But I just put a link in the show note.
All right, let's see.
But
Would you just put your name in?
I just hit the button. Just into
okay.
the Wu-Tang button. I guess you can put your name in there, but I didn't
I'm
bother.
Arrogant Ambassador too.
So am I.
Oh, that must be the blank. But use it for blank then. Let's see if I put in Cricket. The Arrogant Demon for Cricket.
I put in Falloon, and it says Insane Wanderer.
That is you.
I'm the beloved madman.
The what?
Beloved madman.
Beloved
madman.
That's kind
No,
of
it's
you
not.
as well.
It's not beloved. It's B-loved.
Oh, okay.
Love dash or that's silly. I am the lucky beggar. I guess if you have to be a Esmeralda Sky, put in Esmeralda Sky said lucky beggar. I guess if you had to be a beggar, then you better be lucky.
If I put my real name in, it gives me lazy ass profit.
I am the demon.
My real name is Insane Observer.
My real name is Drunken Desperado.
Mine's Drunken Mercenary.
Mine is Fearless Specialist.
There you go. Fun
That's
times.
lame.
Yeah, I like my Drunken Desperado a lot better than yours.
I was just telling my boss the other day, I need a drinking problem.
I just put mine in, and it came up Swift Brow.
I just put my first name in, and it gave me Wacko Wizard. I'm okay with that.
My son is Smiling Mercenary.
Smiling Mercenary, that's cute.
The Smiling.
Oh, Smiling.
Gotta have a little gangster with that.
Smiling.
Yeah, my first name is Lucky
You know what
Madman.
happens when I put foe in there? It says Misunderstood Conqueror.
Misunderstood Conqueror.
You know what? They're absolutely correct.
That's kind of his thing.
It's like Thanos.
Under
He's
in
just
there, it says 40
misunderstood.
ounces meat.
40 ounces of meat.
Swift meat. Oh,
Oh, yes. So I see at the bottom of this page, a big thanks to Huffington Post, Mashable, and of course Donald Glover, whose Wu-Tang name is Childish Gambino, the mention on tonight's show with Jay Leno.
Oh, see? So that's cool. They already know. All right. We're moving into tip time, which nobody put their tip in, so.
Just the
boring.
Just a tip.
Tipless people. Here we go. All right. So I had to go in and get rid of all the things that we don't have. So we do have some. Some of us have something in there. Let's see. We have, I just thought I'd throw up taming pen. Only because there was kind of we are undecided. I've seen that, well, first off, I'll tell you my story. I was taming, I got down on our official fresh server that we're building up on, and I got down a level 100 turtle because we're trying to get, dinos and to get some kibble and to pretty much have something to use as my little horse to put all my stuff in and lug around. So I got down a turtle, and all of a sudden our jackhole neighbors were flying over, and I noticed one of them dropped their raptor, like their tamed raptor onto my turtle. So I don't know if they were trying to see if it would aggro, like if they put it on aggressive or whatever. But it was on follow. Like they must, because it started to go towards my turtle, but then it was on follow. So I'm like, are they trying to kill my tame? Like, because it's not mine yet. So I figured, whatever, I'm not going to take any chances. So then I went and I surrounded it with, because then we also get a lot of new players running up, and I had this one guy come up and just stare at it. And I remember somebody earlier last week saying that someone walked up and punched their tame. Oh, it was Air Dubai. Somebody walked up and the guy punched it, and then he logged out. So we were kind of debating, like, can people still damage your tames on PvE because they're not technically yours yet? Because I've Googled it. I've never had anybody successfully do it to me, but all the forums are full of people reporting that it was done. So we were kind of debating this week, can it happen? Because Johnny was going to do that to one of our jackhole neighbors because they were messing with him, and they told him that he couldn't do it. I didn't know if you tried.
Yeah, I did. They had a beaver down, and I poked it with a pike about 15 times. It didn't seem to do anything.
So they must have changed that. So I definitely know you used to be able to.
Yeah, you can. So I can't find anywhere where you can't. Yeah, I couldn't find anywhere. Like I looked earlier today, and I was looking through the show right now, and I can't. All I do is see a lot of posts about people complaining about it. Like that's one way people are trolled on PvE. Luckily I haven't had it happen, but this was the closest thing. So if anybody knows if they've had it happen to them, I've just personally been lucky, I guess, not to be taming something around assholes. But from what I see on the internet, though, it's still not technically your tame yet. It's still considered a wild dino that they could damage it, because a wild dino can go up and damage it.
But I think once you knock it out, it becomes tagged with your clan. Like, you can't access the inventory.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Know.
Like I said, I know they added some new things in there, because like you said, you can't access the inventory of somebody else's, because that used to be a thing way people used to troll people, is they'd go in there and they'd steal all the food off of it, which is another reason why I usually always just starve tame everything. Because then jack wagons couldn't come and do that. I couldn't
find anything new. I couldn't find anything. And I didn't know, like, while we were gone from the show, like, maybe something got patched in and we didn't report on it, so we didn't know about it. So I guess I'm just curious if on PvE servers if that's a thing. So I don't know. I might have to faux science it, have somebody make a character. Or leave the tribe and try to stab our tame to see if it works. But yeah, I was just curious but what I've done is I built a small house, which it actually would work just to keep other players out of your face anyways, because that's another part that I hate is while I'm out there waiting at my tame, you get a bunch of randos just rolling up on you, and it's so damn annoying. It's annoying. You're like, I don't want to have to sit here and have some small talk or this person jumping around me or trying to make conversation. So I just built, and plus it was such a long tame, I didn't want to take the chance of something else just crossing over it. So I just put some fence foundations around my turtle, and then I put some walls around it to make it protection, put a door. So I pretty much built a house around it. And then, but since you don't have a foundation, because you can't place one, or I didn't even try, but I don't think I wanted to. I don't think you can, because it would be obstructed. Can't really place a foundation, so you can't place a ceiling. But what I did is I got a pillar, and I put the pillar outside of the wall, and then I could build out my ceilings. And then if you're in like a dangerous area, you can still surround your little building with the spikes. You can even put spikes on top of you to protect you from like Argents or whatever coming in. You know, the spikes would help deter them from just getting at your thing right now. And then you'll just demolish it if you don't have Structures Plus. So this is obviously official talking, but just demo it, and that was a small price to pay for me to peace of mind to wonder. I liked being able to run in there and not have some rando roll up and all these newbies building around us and stuff just roll up. And I didn't want to take the chance because I noticed that those jackhole neighbors were scoping around, and I think they were trying to mess with us because they had already did with Johnny earlier, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in science. So that would be my taming pen tip, is to, might be for newer people, obviously, probably not older or more experienced players, but it's definitely something that you can do, is kind of make that little taming area yours for that moment if you can, if it's possible. It made it a lot easier for me. Plus, while you're in there, you're kind of out of the elements. You can put down a campfire if you want and just kind of camp out and chill out with the dino because nothing sucks more than getting sidetracked or being held up or attacked and having something kill your dino, or you die while you're trying to protect your dino. It helped a lot, so that's my tip.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I've actually, something I used to do whenever I first started. It gave me something to do, and I was close to the dino. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I used to always do it. Did you try putting ceilings on your walls? Because I thought you could.
It wouldn't let me because it didn't have a foundation.
Okay, they may have changed it. I thought I used to put down fence foundations, ceilings, or walls and ceilings. And sometimes maybe I'm either forgetting or maybe they did change it where you can't do it anymore.
No, I think that changed because I remember doing it too, and then later on was not able to.
Okay, that's what I was wondering if you actually tried it. So.
Yeah, it worked just fine.
Because I used to do that all the time. I used to, especially if I'd knock something down like a pteranodon or something, it would usually be somewhere where there was wood, and I would just smack down the wood, and I always had fiber and stuff, and just build all the fence foundations and stuff right there, and just I'm gonna make my.
Plus, it helps you find your tame too, because it sucks. Like I've been guilty of getting something down, and then with all the shrubbery and the trees and everything, I go back to get it. I'm like, where the hell did it go? Especially what made me think of that was you mentioned pterodon, and they're so flat to the ground when you're taming them. It's not like they stick out very much, Well,
that's the other nice thing to add on that too, is drop a standing torch with some.
Yes, good idea.
For some fire, because then you can find it. Even in the daytime, it makes a big difference, but at night definitely.
Yep, so that would be my tip. It was very handy, and just, if not for protection, just peace of mind. And general, don't have to talk to other people if you don't want to. So just hop in your little taming pin hat you made, and you don't have to mess with nobody.
Like you said, make sure you destroy it afterwards.
Yes, get rid of that afterwards, because they're not definitely not aesthetically pleasing, because they are pretty ugly. They're good enough for who it's for. We're going to be moving into science. Oh, right. So currently, at least Johnny and I and Goon and have had some experience. Well, Foe got kicked out. The Ark was giving him the middle finger. We don't like you, Foe. Get lost. And he's not having any qualms about that because he's been enjoying his time in Warcraft. So we are on the Fresh. I'm not telling you what server we're on, but we're on a Fresh server. That's what we're on. And so far, our first, it was good, and I rocked it out. We were talking about it a week ago. We started up, fired it up, and we were had to replace our house and 2.5 times that first night, and then it was some shit. So then the rest of the week, it didn't get any better. We got more tribe members and stuff, but it just got more crazier. We had our dinos have been wiped out and killed by alphas at least 3 times. We'd have
tribe?
Just alpha dinos.
Yeah, the alpha dino tribe.
Dino tribe. Yeah, that's so true.
Say, how did he get in there?
It's the weirdest thing, man, because I used to live in this exact spot when I first started playing on our island server, the very first one we all played together on. And this is where I first started out living, and I'd never had as much crazy stuff that we've had now. When we first moved it, now it's kind of died down, but we have a theory about that. I think Johnny could probably explain.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the bad luck magnet. This has been my experience. I sign into the server, I start building your starter little thatch hut or whatever, and the tickle chicken comes over and eats part of the house. So I rebuild. Now I've made it up into wood and eventually stone. And this is on the second day, and another tickle chicken comes along and eats the whole house, everything. Left one foundation in the smithy. That's it. So by this point, they've added me to the tribe. So I was like hurriedly grabbed all of what was in the little bags laying everywhere and moved it over to the big house. And in the process of doing that, I don't know if it was the same one or a different one, but another tickle chicken comes over and starts trying to eat their house. And I bet I died 20 times trying to run that thing off. And it's just not gotten any better between getting eaten by alpha raptors and regular raptors and losing tames. And then there was the one incident, the one incident that was just, I was just like, oh. So it's early in the morning. I work a late shift, so I usually play up into the morning, and then I sleep a little while and go to work. Somebody on the server had said in global chat that they had a pterodon down and they were running out of food and narcotics and were afraid they were going to lose it. And I knew that we had like a ton of dodo egg kibble that we had made and plenty of narcotics because I had just finished making a big batch. So I thought, I'll be a nice neighbor. I'll run him over a little bit. They're like 5 or 6 pieces of each, nothing big. And ended up losing my pterodon trying to defend him from a raptor that was just up the beach from him to keep him from getting attacked by it and losing his almost tamed bird. So I run back down the beach, and they're like a mile away. He's like a mile away down the beach. And I run back down there and get my stuff, and on the way back, I see an alpha carno. And, of course, I died 2 or 3 more times in that, obviously. But I see this alpha carno, and I'm like, I hope that thing stays down here. Well, later on that day, Cleve had mentioned, there's an alpha carno wreaking havoc over here. So when I logged in, I saw it was across the water from us inside another base that was like surrounded in spike walls, and it's in there just like a bull in a china shop, just trying to destroy everything. So I get up on the archway, the rock archway next to our house, and I'm taking pot shots at it with a long neck, trying to at least get it to either run off from being hurt or just aggro in my direction so it would break the one spike wall stopping it and maybe come over there, and then I could use the shotgun on it. Well, some jackwagon from another tribe flies up on his pterodon and pushed me off the rock formation and then stole my stuff and flew off with it. And I was just like, you asshole. And like, so argument ensues with this guy about he didn't do it, but I knew it was him. And he finally says, well, I could craft this shit by myself all day long. I don't understand why you're upset. So, he admitted to taking it because he knew what I had. And I'm like, you know what? Just forget it. And so I go back over to our little island and I put up a big billboard exclaiming him to be a thief. And I think Esme had said that they finally responded to that.
He did. I went over there because their area, they have just pillared it, but it's not a great area to build up on because you have to go out to get a lot of the resources because it's on that Stonehenge, everybody calls it. So, excuse me, I'm coughing. I go over there because there's a lot of rock, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go over there and steal your mofo's rocks because you guys are jackwagons. So I go over there, and I'm just farming rock, and I look and I notice that they now have a billboard, and it was like, "Rated Ark Noobs Idiots." I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, they got us," because they saw his sign that he
Noobs Idiots. So they're 12. I got it.
Yeah, it doesn't even say "R Noobs," and it just says "Rated Ark Noobs Idiots," and I was like, we should totally change our tribe name to Noobs Idiots.
Sounds like the next tribe name, yeah.
I know. I was like, I like to take the power away by becoming that. That's what we did last time when they were mad at us for claiming those dinos. We'd call ourselves the Vultures. But so now we'll just be Noob Idiots. And so I retaliated and I moved our sign closer. And I was just like, what's that? Hybrid theory can't hang PvP on officials, so they have to come to PvE and pretend it's official or PvP or whatever.
Yep.
And that's what I was like, because that's pretty much what they're doing. They're like, oh, there's a guy trying to help someone out. I'm going to go knock him off on my pterodon because I'm a Billy Badass. I'm so elite. And I'm like, oh, God. I was like, they can't hang it on PvP officials, so they got to come to PvE and pretend they're somebody. So then I said, oh, and then I threw in my favorite that they're, oh, and I said, and we heard that they also like to eat soft cat food out of a can and wear their mommy's robes. So I put that on the sign as well. So I'm like, because we did hear that about them, so I thought they should know that that's what we heard about them. So
yeah, that's what the comment earlier about painting the Friskies can on the billboard was about. Now, I wish we had enough dye to do that. I would do it.
It'll happen. We can make lots of dye. We're getting there. But
now if you had increased farming rates, then you'd be able to make dye even quicker.
See? Yeah, so that's right.
I heard that. Yeah, dye's faster to make when you have increased rates.
Yeah.
I read that someplace.
So, yeah, that's been interesting. Our other neighbors have been pretty decent. I haven't even really seen those other people around. Like, I feel like they're probably just waiting for their tribe or whatever, the June 30th or whatever date to come up. Because they just have, like, some jack
one thing I wanted to add, though, with my whole bad luck thing is I'm actually kind of glad they took the shotgun away from me, because in getting attacked, going up on the hill to get metal, and coming back down, I got attacked on 2 different occasions, knocked off a parasaur by a raptor doing its little pounce and pin thing, and run back over there and grab my stuff while it's busy with the parasaur, pull out the shotgun, try to hit the raptor, and end up taking them both out. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad they took that thing away from me, because I was kind of dangerous with it.
It was. And so then you took a break from playing with us over there so that you can... He's never got to play with mods before because he got his new computer and he used to play Ark on PS4. So he's been bitten by the mod bug and the whole world that are mods.
Yes.
And so,
dude, you got to go on our Ragnarok cluster, man.
Our
mod setup for that is fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I actually got with Balloon, and he sent me...
Yeah, why are you exhaling so loudly?
He sent me the collection of mods that
I know, I did it on purpose.
Using, so that's what I was using in single player. And so, yeah, but I mean, I'll get on there. I just wanted to play around with it a little bit with the creative mode that you can do in single player and all that. So, got a pretty nice little, like, castle fortress thing going on. And
awesome.
I wonder if I have anything even still living in the cluster.
I feel like you should.
I haven't been logged in like a month and a half.
Don't worry. I logged in and all my stuff was still alive.
Okay. I figured probably all my stuff at my base is alive, but my the area where I had all of my monkeys, I don't know if they had a food trough. Yeah. So they might be dead.
Well, the real question is, has anything gotten through your spiked fences yet?
True.
The real question is, has anybody logged in your area to activate all that stuff?
True.
Bum, bum, bum.
The real question is...
the real question is, do I really care?
Oh, God.
You care.
So, yeah, our faux science has been going okay there, but it sounds like we might have a new faux science of making a teeny tiny beginner tribe and seeing how that goes on a PvP beginner thingy. That might be interesting.
Well, the nice thing about that, too, is you'll be at max level in not that long.
Unless they shorten it.
Getting level 44 shouldn't take that long to do, even if it's on official rates.
It'll be interesting. So, yeah. So there's that. Okay, Mr. Johnny, you have the damn E key. Is that right? wait.
Well, I think that was mostly with the
We kind of joined together on that. We kind of joined in together.
Yeah,
on that, so.
it's... I mean, I could go into a whole lot more detail about stuff that's happened, but it's just typical... Basically, I fucked up.
Well, and it's like all the alphas came when Johnny joined. That's what we were deciding that. Like, it's not even like it was all because it's like the minute you're in the tribe, like Clev, we've been taken out by leads before, but that poor Clev built an entire raft and then it got wiped out by an alpha leads. He said it hit it one time and poof.
Well, the story was he went over to the little crystal cave near us to get some crystal, and he's like, he came out, got back on the raft, he's like, well, I got greedy, and I saw a green drop, so I went to go get it, and in the process of that, got hit by the alpha leads.
Yes.
So, yeah, I felt bad, because, like, he lost all of it. Like, the crystal, the green drop, everything, gone.
Everything.
I was like, no, that's...
It was a gamble for sure. I have never come across the alpha lead, so that is, that's
He works so hard on that raft, too.
I know, that's the sucky part. So as right now, it's been Emmetai and Clev and I have been the most active so far all week in the tribe, just trying to keep our head above the alpha waters, but Last 2 days has been kind of peaceful. I started making a wall down the one side because we had our base surrounded in just wooden spikes, but they only have like, I think it was like 3,500 life. Like a wooden wall has 10,000, so it's kind of weird. But so I'm just trying to. It's so hard, gathering in your newer lower levels in Ark Unofficial because it's just like you don't have all these dinos. What you do, they're not the highest level right off the bat. So right now our next goal is getting our beaver. So that's what we're working on right now. That's our plan.
Beaver? Or do you want a mammoth?
Well, we're on Angry Beaver Island, so beaver is what's for dinner. So
okay. Well, just because beaver, if you're official, you have to get.
It's there, man. It's right in front of us. Like,
well, I was saying, do you have somebody who can make a saddle?
We will.
That was 61. That was 61 for a saddle.
We're almost there.
I should be pretty close.
I think you're almost. Yeah, you're like 50. You're like high 50s. So
okay.
I think I can't remember how old Clev or how.
Okay. Because mammoth you can get 31, but beaver is not till 61. So it's one official 61. The above 50. Does take a little. Does take some time to get to.
Yeah. So it's handy for us because they're right around us. So that's been cool.
Yeah.
And also just a public service announcement for new players. Don't forget to dump those beaver dams. Their global was once again, no matter how many times that you say it, global is always full of people getting mad because nobody's dumping it. They're like,
dump the wood.
Nobody dumps the beaver dam. And I'm like, you could just dump it and then like drop everything. But I'm like, well, not a lot of people know that is that you have to dump it. Like they don't think about that.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to dump all that stuff. I will make 15 trips. Down? No, I'll make 15 trips to that thing to get everything out of it before I dump a single piece. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, people are just taking cementing paste and walking away.
Yeah,
and they're like, you need to destroy it or something. Yeah, you need to do something, not just leave it there. And I feel like they should make it just despawn like after so many. Because I don't know why they are doing that. Like, why do they even make it hang out forever?
Well, because if the dam doesn't have cementing paste anymore, it should get destroyed by the water flow.
I would like that to happen. I feel like it should happen, but it doesn't. So you just have all these empty beaver dams, but full of wood, which is super handy. But if you don't have something right there, which is always handy to just get your raft and just clip over it and just get ready to get out of Dodge because those beavers will come after you in a heartbeat. Or just go around and kill all the beavers and then get your stuff.
Or you have one person, grab one
body.
dam and chase everything over that way.
Didn't we, Goon? We had to do that. That's what Goon and Air Dubai were doing last week. Was like, okay, you go in and you get it, and then I'll cover you, kind of a thing. And yeah, we had to have a lot of creative gathering. It's been interesting, very humbling, but it's been fun. The team aspect is always fun. So that's that. I think we're moving into last call. Did anybody have anything they want to say? You better think about it because this is where we're going. We're heading there. Once I find my outro. Oh, here it is.
It's closing time. Pack up all those dinos and head out into the real world. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can stay here. I don't want to have to log right now. I don't want you to have to log right now. But it's closing time. The Rated Ark is ready to pull the plug.
All right. Do you guys have anything you want to share before we pull the plug?
I do.
Go on.
We were talking about the Amisa map earlier.
Yes.
I was so impressed with this map that I went ahead and rented a Nitrado server. And I'm going to work with Mr. Fell and try to get that added to his cluster. So, that will be coming up pretty soon. I'm actually on that server right now. When you spawn in inside one of the pre-made buildings or whatever. I walk outside, not even on the server, 2 minutes, look up, and there's a Quetzal flying over. So this is going to be fun.
Nice.
So what are your first impressions? Like, have you got to run around very much? Or
I did. I went on single player and spawned in something to fly around on and kind of just flew over the map a little bit. And it's freaking amazing. Size comparison, the guy was pretty spot on. He said it was a little bit bigger than the island, and that's pretty well it. but all of the biomes are represented. You've got, the desert area from Scorched Earth. You've got your snow biomes. You've got the aberration kind of biome there with and it has a rock drake island, which I did find, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like Ragnarok plus aberration. So I like it. I like it a lot.
So if it's part of the cluster, then that means we'll be able to move our characters over.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Have all the same mods.
Have all the same mods, same settings. Be able to move back and forth between them if you wanted to.
That map has so much cool stuff. It actually reminds me a little bit of Valhalla also, which was a very old, cool map too. It has like a lot of elements that remind me of Valhalla.
I'll just have to decide when I move my character over, do I want to bring over any flyer or anything like that to start with instead of having to find something in Tamed.
Yeah, no kidding. I would think so.
I kind of feel like I just want to rough it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
But anybody that wants to jump on here with me, just let me know and give me your Steam ID where I can add you to the whitelist and all that.
What I'll do, Johnny, is I've got everybody's everybody that's on the cluster now. I'll just send you somehow that file. And
okay,
you can just
that'll work.
Yeah.
And do you have Johnny's ID to?
Yeah, he's got mine.
Yeah,
okay.
I added him already.
To it.
Yeah.
Just because I knew that you were new to.
Good night, all. I gotta head out.
Good night, Fo.
Good night.
Good night, man.
Night, Fo. Hashtag Fo did it.
Fo did it. So you can come and join us in game. The games we play and the shows we record at crossrunrebellion.com. You can find the gaming group on Twitter at CRR Gaming Group, and you can find us at Rated Ark and all that jazz. And also, thanks for sticking out with us. We're looking for some we're going to be coming up with some new segment ideas, and then hopefully I think it's time to start tossing around some interview ideas. So if you guys have any ideas as listeners, go ahead and get a hold of us at ratedark@gmail.com. And like I said, don't be shy if you want to be a host with us on the show. We have some hosts right now that are kind of taking little Ark breaks and stuff, so you might get a chance to hear some new voices, and if not, hopefully we can get some interviews going. That would be fun. So, I think that's all I have to say. Any other last calls?
At least I got my chicken. That's
right. All right, here we go.
You can reach the show by email at ratedark@gmail.com. You can tweet the show at ratedark on Twitter. You can grab our RSS feed, get our show notes, and apply to join us in-game at ratedark.podbean.com.
I love the addition of the blue screen.
So funny.
That was awesome.
I meant to have it for some reason on the soundboard. Like, I swear I added it there. So I'm glad Johnny had something to add, because I was like, I gotta find it. And I added it just in time. Because I was so bummed last week I didn't get it.
That was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And it was Goon's idea, wasn't Goon? Didn't you tell me I should swap out the screams?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you need to swap out that. I was like, oh, great idea, I should. Great idea.
But the best part is people might not even realize that it's me. They'll probably still think it's you.
No, it's...
Oh, it's never me.
Yeah.
Or you're going, yeah.
It was his... it was the actual... Was it the actual scream in the game?
Yep.
Yes, now it's the actual blue. Actual blue.